Certainly fired up, excited to get back to work with our guys after that strong performance, dominant performance on Saturday. Lots of stuff to be excited about, lots of stuff to improve upon, and the best part is the energy, the attitude, going right back to work with a great start today. Got to sustain that. Got a great opportunity this coming weekend. Go up one of the most iconic places to play football, right? An unbelievable atmosphere, very talented team, a lot of really good football players, and certainly there's a long history between Virginia Tech and Miami. So really excited about the challenge and that opportunity. And that being said, questions, please.
Mario, after the game on Saturday, Carson was kind of talking about how it's taken him a little bit to kind of get both confident in himself again after the elbow injury and get fully settled in the offense. Just how have you seen him maybe evolve in that over the course of the season?
Well, I think anytime you don't participate fully in spring practice, there's a lot of value to spring. Let me start by saying that. And I thought that we overcame a lot of that. Do you ever fully get that back? You don't. There's been some really good moments and then some others where you wish you would have had more time, but certainly we feel great about the last couple of weeks of all the things that are transpiring offensively. And there's a distinctly higher level of just energy and I would say just approach by everyone in the building. And complimentary football, when that thing kicks in now, it's special to watch, and I think that's what we all witnessed on Saturday. And we're looking forward to improving upon that because there's a lot of stuff on tape that we have an opportunity to improve upon.
And then on Saturday, and you talked about Keontae's injury and then a little bit on the radio this morning. Doesn't sound like a great situation. Do you expect him back this year?
I don't know. Like we mentioned, it is a more significant injury. We certainly hope and pray for, but it doesn't look like it's very likely. But I'd hate to rule it out completely because you just never know.
Just with that, like you mentioned, Keontae's out, a lot of the big guys are out, but them still finding ways to be involved on the sidelines, in the meeting rooms, just the cultures you guys have established with that, where the veterans, even when they can't make an impact on the people, finding ways to help the younger guys, help the guys replacing them. Just what does that say about the room and how they're embracing what they can, even when they can't produce on the field on Saturdays?
Yeah, Keontae's leadership, it screams loudly. I think one of the better things I've witnessed all year in my time here was him taking it upon himself to approach Marty after the fumble and just going right to him and looking him right between the eyes and bringing the right type of, not the coddling encouragement, but like right at him, like, hey man, you're that guy, you're gonna come back, you're gonna bounce back, you're gonna get after it, and you're gonna make some critical plays in this game. So you see it from him, and you saw from CJ Daniels, just very involved. They're always moving. They're guys, they're men of action. They always have to be doing something that's impacting the rest of the team. And they themselves understand the value of that. They've seen it when they were young players in other parts and other spots, I should say. So invaluable, and certainly guys that we're counting on week in and week out, whether they're playing or not, to bring that kind of juice.
Bryce Fitzgerald, his versatility, played with safety a lot, and him having to step in that nickel, just seeing him being able to adjust the role you guys need him to.
Did a great job. I mean, he's uber talented, but he's also uber motivated. He brings that approach every day, a lot like we talk about guys like Malachi Tony. He's been led by a guy like Keontae Scott, guys like Zach Poyser, Jacoby Thomas. These are guys that have really helped lead him to understand the ways of becoming a really good football player. And a lot of versatility with him, and he got a shot in there. We pretty much got 3 or 4 guys playing that spot on Saturday, and in different packages, and I think they all had some really bright moments, some other ones we got to correct. So looking forward to just watching him continue to evolve as a player.
What's the note about Gerard Pringle's performance after watching the tape?
Well, looked like a mature player out there. The extra yards to make you miss opportunities, really patience to the hole, but explosive through the hole, yards off to contact, ball security, certainly the check down, right, to get, I think it was 12, 13 yards, just a lot of stuff. Really played well, and only gonna get better, really never got tired, and just a really, really good performance by G.
Elijah Lofton, obviously obviously hasn't probably had the season that he was hoping for, had a couple drops, and then gets the touchdown in, I think, the third quarter. Just what do you think that could do for him getting that first touchdown, especially trying to finish the season on strong?
Right. Well, I think he deserves a lot of credit because he has played through some pretty good injuries and nicks and bumps or whatnot that have slowed him down, but he's never complained. He just keeps showing up, and has it hindered him some? It has, but he still keeps coming. When you make a play like that, it can really start the momentum to some bigger and better things. So his approach has never ever wavered. He is a guy that's very strong-minded, that we're counting on for continued high-level play. And I think it's coming. His best stuff's ahead of him, but again, I'm really proud of the guy because he's fought through a lot, and his future here is really, really bright. So looking forward to more from him.
It's been 2 weeks now where the offensive line has kind of cleaned up some of the injury or some of the penalties that were plaguing him. How much pride did that group take in trying to clean that stuff up here?
Well, you know Coach Mirabal really well, so it's everything. It's team first, everything. I believe that's, I think now 2 weeks without a pre-snap. I know we had holding there somewhere along the lines, but sustaining blocks, finishing blocks, chasing the ball, chasing guys down the field. A lot of pride. You see it every day, so it's not surprising. It's good to see the extra effort put into cleaning that up because that certainly was affecting us. It's good to see that pay off. And we got to stay at it. Going into a noisy environment this week, certainly different than playing at home. A crowd very involved. The crowd there has impacted so many games for so many decades that we certainly got to crank it up and improve even more to give ourselves the best chance.
When you watch Virginia Tech, what stands out?
There's a DNA to that program. They're always extremely physical, extremely tough, and play really, really hard. When you break down it analytically and you really dive into the relative part of the game, they're a top 5 rushing offense. They get after you up front, and they do it in a lot of different ways, and they'll scheme you up series to series. They understand leverage, numbers, and angles as good as anybody. And it's not quarterback runs only. I mean, that's part of their game, but both their running backs, really all the guys that they use, they get downhill in a hurry. They got great contact balance. They run with power. They run behind their pads. They're very versatile. They catch the ball in the backfield well, and their offensive line and tight ends, they get after it. They really do. They're complemented by some really, in our opinion, really explosive receivers that really do a great job of creating separation and making the contested catch. It's what makes them dangerous on offense. And on defense, I think the fact that their front 4, they jump from the odd front to the 4 down front, whether they're in, base and odd or base and nickel respectively, but they're versatile enough to do it out of both packages as well. But their defensive line kind of sets the tone. They're big and they're physical. There's a lot of one gap movement stuff that comes with it, just really powerful, like with their hands. They come out of their hips, they get their feet in the ground, they get hands on blockers, and their block destruction, you could tell they're really, really well coached. Really well coached, talented guys because they get off of blocks in a hurry and they get a lot of hats to the football. And it's really impressive. And they are hard to block, and they've proved it against a lot of different offensive lines. So, and their back end, they're so active. I mean, they've just got a lot of good players, and their depth has been tested at times with injuries, but they find a way to come out and play at a high level. So looking forward to, again, a great opportunity against these guys.
The offense has gotten a lot more explosive the last few games. And in those games, Keelan Marion has been a player that's really emerged. How key has he been in this offense, kind of getting a little bit more explosive?
Yeah, he's been great. He's been great. The neat thing about the offense is, we're getting better and better. But again, Coach Dawson, a really smart, hard-working dude that just knows ball. And we're 2 things. Obviously, we're doing some things to help ourselves, but we're also getting the right guys on the field, right? The players overplays all the time, right? That's the way it works. But Keelan has been one of those guys, and he attracts a lot of attention now because of his ability to create separation, make explosive plays, contested catches, right? On special teams, he hasn't gotten loose yet, but he's been close. He's been a great player for us the entire year. Unbelievable energy and attitude. I mean, he brings a fire to him that gets everybody else just lit up and fired up. And he's another guy. Every single day, attitude with him is just always up there. He's always going to bring the right type of mentality to practice in the game day. So love to see him have the success he's having. We expect him to continue to get even better.
Saw CJ Daniels warming up pregame. Is he getting closer? Is that fair to say?
He was ready. He was ready last game, and felt, I'll take full responsibility in talking with him and being the limited amount of reps, like game plan reps that we actually got. Felt okay. Felt that Upshaw and Trader had got enough reps where maybe it's best where if we're not all the way there, let's go what we know we saw all week in practice. But I feel great about his availability this week, as well as we're trending great with Mark Fletcher as well. Waiting on word with OJ, but that one's certainly trending as well. It was great to see Moten get the snaps this past week, which he'd been missing for a while. We were missing him, we've been missing OJ, David Blake, Keontae, CJ, Mark Fletcher, Wes. That's a lot of really good players. It's almost a third of our starters. So to have some of these guys on the men's and working their way back, it's exciting. So, but I'll keep you updated on those, but I do expect CJ for sure, Mark training well with OJ, Wes more, and Moten looks to be on the mend as well.
I understand you want to control what you can control and focus on Virginia Tech, but I want to ask a big picture college football playoff ranking question. As it pertains mainly to just head-to-head, these resumes of teams are all razor thin. And I'm curious, what you think the weight should be on head-to-head matchup results as it pertains to comparing various resumes.
I would say the number one criteria, anything, is always head-to-head. I mean, it's why we play the game, right? So I think that always has been and always will be the number one factor in determining whatever relates to whatever.
And with Jacoby Thomas, obviously he had a phenomenal game. Got named the conference defensive back of the week. Just with Keontae being out, how did he fill that kind of not just production gap, but the leadership gap as well?
Yeah, he was. I thought he set the tone. Obviously, the interception and the finish on it was epic, right? I mean, that was an exclamation point. But I thought the way he tackled, I don't know if you saw that first wide zone over to their left, our right, when he got downhill. And again, reminder, I believe they had the highest yards per carry in the conference or close to it, their second. And they hadn't crossed the 50-yard line until that last drive when we had most of the threes and some of the fours in. A lot of that was because of our safety play. The way they supported the run, went up there, and just were very physical. Really, we've become just a much better tackling team, and there's still a lot of area, a lot of room to improve upon there. He's one of those guys that he loves contact. He's a very physical and violent football player. He's helped change our defense, right? The DNA of the team with what he does. He's another guy that's just nowhere near satisfied. He wants to get better. He's looking forward to practice tomorrow and looking forward to going out there on Saturday to get better.
We haven't talked a lot about Jamar Brown this year, obviously coming off of the injury from last season. Just how would you evaluate how he's doing the metrics, at least ones we're able to see, show that he's been
I think
pretty good year, just obviously good.
I think he's quickly becoming one of the better ones in the conference in the country, is what I can confidently say. He's been through a lot, right, with the injury last year. I mean, derailed him game one, played 8-10 into the season. And that's, it takes time to recover from something like that. So to see him play at the level he's playing, as physical as he's playing, such a natural and instinctive player, and continuing to clean up all the details that come with it, but outstanding human being, outstanding family. Awesome to see him have the type of success that he is having, and sky's the limit for him. I believe he's just scratching the surface. I believe he's just getting started.
Anything else for Coach?